It's your daily reminder that fat women are beautiful.
We are afraid of fatness because we've been traumatized by fatphobia.
I'm not scared of fat people.
Ma'am. What?
So how can I be phobic?
Swinging is fun.
But you know what's not talked about enough?
Like, it's not the vibe. Stop!
They call it.
Well, no,
fine,
you know
fine.
your weight, I don't.
No, but that's...
The fact that these fat people are fitphobic.
To show that all bodies are beautiful.
Let's talk about it, shall we? Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Trauma Pond HQ. My name's Olivia and this is where we sit by the pond and we have a little chat. And today I'm going to share a very controversial opinion, which you can take it or leave it, but I do not care. Today's topic, we are going to talk about fatphobia and how it doesn't exist.
What you are doing is illegal.
Yeah, I realize what I said and I don't care who I offend because I'm sticking with it. There is no such thing as fatphobia. It doesn't exist.
Way to mock us for perfecting our bodies.
The reason why fatphobia is even a phenomenon that exists within the fat people community is because they are too scared of being fit. They're scared of doing the work. So if anything, fatphobia does not exist, but fitphobia definitely does. So I thought we would break down a couple of things that have been jumping all over my For You page recently, because this phenomenon is very harmful to a lot of people. I work in the fitness industry and my whole goal is to help people who truly want to help themselves get to a state where they don't have to be reliant on other people. They don't have to rely on going to a doctor to tell them to lose weight or rely on medications to get to that point. I want to educate and help people as much as I possibly can so that they can live a healthy lifestyle. I'm not saying that you have to be extreme. In fact, it wasn't that long ago that I just posted a video called Bodybuilding is a Method of Self-Harm.
I think that, it's more or less because...
And in the shorts, a lot of people liked and disliked that one. But in all honesty, if you're going to comment on a short and not actually watch the full explanation, I really don't care about your opinion because you don't have the brain capacity to understand or figure it out. TikTok brain is a thing, regardless if you have TikTok or not. Unfortunately, I do have TikTok, hopefully not TikTok brain. But let's have a little look at people saying that we are fatphobic when in actual fact they are just projecting the fact that they are fitphobic.
Oh shit, okay, here we go.
When people are fatphobic on this platform, you should be uncomfortable. You should be uncomfortable. It is irresponsible to come on an app where there are vulnerable young people and be so fatphobic.
Oh.
To spread such hate and harm. And do it under the guise of caring about people. And making it about people not caring about themselves. You don't get to do that. And it's tolerated too much. And it's made light of heart too much.
She could be a pastor.
Fatphobia should make you uncomfortable because it is intertwined with every single other system of oppression that exists. It is related to sexism, racism, homophobia, xenophobia, classism. And so when you talk about one, you talk about it all.
Okay, so let's look at classism as an example of what she's trying to say. So classism, when you think of rich and successful people, yeah, they're not fat. Like if you think of, yeah, Elon Musk went through a phase of a little bit tubby and now he's fixed that. Then you have the Tate brothers, they're very rich and successful, they're very fit. Then Andrew Frisella, that's another one. You know, you look at quite a few different people who have made their own success. They're all pretty fit. Racism, well, of course, everyone's going to pull the racist card. Like that, the whole racist phenomenon that seems to be happening primarily in America, and I think some of it's happening in the UK, I'm not exactly sure, but it's primarily in America. Just going to say, If a black man and a white man who have the same amount of money are in a room together, there's no such thing as racism between them because they don't see colour. They see the success and they want to see how that success has been made. Intelligent people are not racist.
It's all in your head.
Intelligent people are fit, healthy and active, and that's how they have their businesses. Saying that's involved with racism or classism, whenever you're just trying to use your victimization to put blame on other people, well, that's a you problem. That's not a me problem. You're choosing to put that together. Yeah, you could say that intelligent people will look at a fat person and think that they are lazy because it's true, because you have chosen that way of living. You have chosen to scoff as much as you possibly can instead of trying to moderate your food and go for some exercise. Don't get me wrong, I know that there are certain genetics that will make you hold a bit more weight than other people. Me as a person, I have polycystic ovary syndrome. That means that my body will tend to hold weight a little bit more than other people. I am not overweight. I am within the healthy range. I'm a size 10, 12. There are people who have got glandular problems. They might hold a little bit more as well. There's a lot of people who I meet who actually have a very healthy lifestyle, but unfortunately they have got some underlying biological issues that make them hold a bit of weight. When you are a size 18, 20, 22, like go right up to a size 40, I don't know how far it goes, that is a choice. You have chosen to do that to yourself because you chose not to work.
I don't know if I like you.
Is it fatphobic to not want to date someone that is overweight or what you would consider fat?
No, because everyone has just their preferences and everyone has things that they like and don't like about who they're dating.
Do you think the term fatphobic should exist?
No. I don't think a lot of people are actually like, when people say fatphobic, I don't know if you're actually fatphobic. A lot of people care about their health, and which isn't a bad thing, but...
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. People care about their health. The fact that I know that if I train 4 times a week, eat a relatively marginally healthy diet and look after myself as best I possibly can, I know that by the time I get to 60, I'm going to have a better chance of getting in and out of a chair than a person who does not do any of those things. There are people that I help at the moment who are the same age as me and they cannot get out of a chair without a struggle. Like, that should not be a thing. And they acknowledge what has happened and what has gone wrong. And it takes an awful lot of strength and power to be able to acknowledge the fact that you've done this to yourself and there has to be a way out. And there is a way out. And I'll tell you this right now, the best way out is not going to the doctor asking for pills or surgery. I can promise you that. If you do the actual work and you actually educate yourself in what to eat, how much to eat, all of those things, get some therapy about your eating habits, I promise you, you can do better.
So in the United States, ableism and fatphobia operate like this. If you ask someone why...
I can see myself destroying this bitch.
Why it's bad to be fat or why they don't want to be fat, typically they're not going to say it's because they think it's ugly. What they're going to say is that it's unhealthy. You can see this linguistically in people's resistance to use the word fat, but how readily they will use a term like obese. Even when fat people, specifically fat activists, have asked people to not use the word obese because it operates like a slur and is used to further marginalize fat people. I think a lot of smaller fat people are really privileged to not experience the 1-2 punch of ableism and fatphobia, but that doesn't mean that it's not there. And most importantly, fatphobia is disabling because it is used to gatekeep medical care from fat people, making fatphobia a disability justice issue.
Okay, so I said I was going to destroy this thing. Putting your choices into the ableism category, that's not allowed. You should not be allowed to do that because it was your choice to get that big. Ableism comes down to people who cannot physically walk. They are confined to a wheelchair because of an accident, something happening at birth, they lost limbs. That's ableism. Another ableism is neurological disorders as well. So a person who is autistic, non-verbal autistic, that's ableism. A person with severe heart conditions from birth or accident or whatever it is, and they can no longer function properly without medical equipment, that is ableism. Learning disabilities are ableism. They are not a choice. And the fact that you have the freaking audacity to think that your choices put you in that category, you don't deserve an opinion. And this is another thing. I'm going to get pretty aggressive with this one. I don't care who I offend, because if I offend anyone, it's your choice to be offended. There is absolutely nothing that a person can say to me that will offend me, because if I don't know you, if I don't see you as the person that has accreditation, you don't have an intellectual mindset, I'm not offended. Unless you are someone of that caliber who is extremely high up and successful, I am not going to be offended by anyone who is not on that level. The world that we live in right now, everything that I am saying, you are going to take as offensive language, because you're such a snowflake that you think that everything I'm saying is an attack. If you were to take what I was saying and flip it and actually understand that, oh, I am playing victim, you might be able to do something for yourself. Instead of bitching and moaning and crying about, oh, I used to be bullied in school. I was like, okay, and who wasn't? Do you think I use my background of sexual assault, being abused by my mom, being in abusive relationships, do you think I use that as a reason to be a victim? No, I'm going to use it Batman style. You can be the Joker and I will be Batman. I will fight for other people and help as many as I possibly can. You guys can be the Joker, make it all about you and destroy the world while you have it. You are a bad person for thinking that your obesity puts you in the class of ableism because it's your choice. There are other people that do not have a choice, that they have ended up in the category of ableism, and you just want to fit into that category because you don't fit into anything else, metaphorically and figuratively. The only thing that concerns me about your fitphobia is the fact that you want to shame as many people as possible for not wanting to be that size. It's the fact that we know that that amount of food is actually poison. See, this is a question that I wish I could ask all of these people. If you were offered food and told that it had rat poison in it, would you eat it?
Just cool, into the mouth. Nice.
And the reason being is because a lot of the food that is in the supermarkets and the fast food chains and all that sort of stuff, all of that stuff is good for one-time use. The more you eat it, the more poisonous it is. Technically, a lot of the food that is available for mass consumption is actually toxic. If you eat an entire bag of Oreos, that's an awful lot of poison going in. If you have one or two, that's absolutely fine. But if you're going to have a whole bag of Oreos, why don't you just lick lead? It's not going to kill you straight away, but over long term, it's going to have some damage. I'm not saying that we have to cut out all bad foods. If anything, I'm not one to talk. I had 3 Tim Tams today. Naughty. Was it naughty? Maybe just a little bit. How often do I have Tim Tams? Once a month. My sugar intake is down to once a week. And even then, that makes me uncomfortable because I'm not very well at the moment. Now see, this is the biggest thing of the body positivity movement.
Bill Burr has this amazing bit about the body positivity movement. He thinks basically that the body positivity movement is women encouraging other women to push themselves further and further out of the appropriate mate value dating pool.
There's nothing stopping you other than the fact that you guys are just into destroying each other. No, now it's going to get quiet. I see all that sneaky shit you do. Ladies, if you could just support the WNBA the way you support a fat chick that's proud of her body and is no longer a threat to you, you know, that league would be doing better numbers than the NBA.
As you applaud women for being the size that they are, it makes a really good case that, well, yeah, you get all of the points of being, you know, morally grandstanding, and I am empathy, and I care for the downtrodden group, and so on and so forth. But you are also doing something that benefits your own mate value.
So are we that Machiavellian? Because that's some sneaky shit.
I was listening to it, and as I was listening to it, I was like, wow, this sounds like really comprehensive intersexual competition from women to push other women out of the mating pool.
I want to believe that we're not that Machiavellian.
That was a conversation between Chris Williamson and Dr. Tracy Vandercourt. I hope I've said that name right. She is an expert in the behavior of women. And yes, women are that vindictive. Now, that was the first time that she had heard that particular idea from Bill Burr. And she really rejected it in the podcast, that she didn't want to believe that we could be that nasty. I mean, I actually really admire her work. I think she's done an amazing job breaking down the social structures with women and how we treat each other. It really would not surprise me that this would be true.
They make you gain weight like crazy.
Mother!
I don't know if we would actually do it on purpose. I don't believe I think like most women. I just accept the fate that I have been dealt a bad card. It is what it is. In saying that, I wouldn't be surprised if some women are actually that kind of Machiavellian. But then on the other side, women don't want to upset people. And so if a woman was to actually say, yeah, I'm fat, another woman would probably just turn around and say, oh no, you're beautiful. Would I say that I'm probably guilty of that? Yes. But I'm now taking a step back, realizing the harm that it's doing, and I'm not giving into this anymore. If you are overweight, I'm going to tell you, look, yes, you are. You're going to have to rethink your life choices because it's not good for your health. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there, but thank you so much for watching this episode of Trauma Pond HQ. If you have liked this episode, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss another episode. All right, guys, I love you, and I will see you next time for another episode of Trauma Pond HQ. Mwah.